Hello Pisces, welcome to Lotus Heart Tarot. I'm super happy to have you here. We're going to dive right in. I am really tapping into the energy of spring, and I am also getting this energy of pulling something towards you. This is like a magnetized energy. It feels like there's like a very strong pull here right now towards you. I don't know if you're consciously aware of it or not, but it's like strong. Strong, I get. All right, for Pisces, please, Spirit, for Pisces. Wow. Pisces, you're getting time, revision, and perception. This is really interesting. You know, sometimes when we are living something forward, I got this actually, the same message, I feel like in your reading the other day. I don't know which day it was or which reading it was, but it's an energy of, you know, when you're living through something forward, you know, chronologically, feeling like things are happening to you, almost like things are against you, or that you, no matter how much you try, no matter how much effort you put into sort of manifesting or visualizing or whatever, it seems like those things are not happening, and kind of at times maybe it even got so bad that the equal opposite was happening. Do you know what I'm saying? And so it really gave you this impression that things were happening against you, or to you. And now there's something here that is shifting. There's something that's happening. There's something that's being put in place. God, this feels tied to Neptune moving into Aries. I don't know, take it if it resonates, but it's like where you're starting to see that it was all happening for you. It's shifting your perception of what happened. Because you're realizing that without all of those things that happened, you wouldn't be here now. All of those things had to happen just the way that they did, or you wouldn't have been here. I'm even feeling like the relationships that didn't work out, or just there are many things. Some of you, it's career paths, or you know, like the timing of something. You know, you're gonna realize this is a much better time than what that was. Either, you know, you weren't quite ready, or there was a different purpose to your life at that time. You know, I've said this before. I was meditating, I don't know, like 4 years ago. And this came through so strongly, and it still comes up, and it comes up the exact same way you know, that it did for me in meditation, which is like after meditation really is when the answers come. But it was like, you know, it was this energy just of basically feeling like everyone around me is doing these things or having these milestones, or, you know, finding their person or finding someone who understands them. But I'm not. I don't seem to be able to connect with someone else on that level, or I don't seem to be able to find someone who I connect with that also wants the same things I want. You know, like, what is this? Why isn't this working out for me? And kind of feeling like time is passing you by. And in fact, there was a different purpose for your life at that time. And a relationship like that would have distracted you, would have become the central focus for you. And that's not what was meant for you. I often say, like, maybe you were meant to win a Nobel Peace Prize instead, or carry on with important education, or go through some suffering and some struggling to really uncover yourself in this process, so that you were living as early as possible in your authenticity and in your truth. Oftentimes, suffering helps us to chip away all of the excess to find what really matters, where our core really is, and what it really wants and what it's really about. Well, now the time has come. You're starting to see why all of those things didn't work out, or the benefit of having had them not work out for you. And in that way, you're able to really come to a solid place of peace with your past, because you see that it actually was all working out in your benefit. And with the time, it is time for now a shift. Now may be the time. Now may be the time for you to pull that relationship towards you. All right, let's see. Guys, hey, if you're gonna wrestle, don't do it in here. Maybe you found your true passion in life, part of your soul purpose. It's like you got singularly focused on it, or you had time to sort of devote to it, to establish it, to get on a path. Guys, you are really pulling someone towards you. When you live your passion, you know, it's like when they say, when you want love, become the energy of it, become the frequency of it. When you want passion, you know, become the frequency of passion. Live your passion. Only do the things that you really, truly desire doing. Pisces, I'm getting so strongly, and this message has been coming out in so many ways for days. Guys, I know it's a nice day and we're all feeling really our oats, right? But like, hey, Box, if you're gonna play, can you go out there? Could you go into the foyer, please, if you're gonna play? Everybody wants to play today. Everybody. It's so funny. I've gotten off track so many times trying to get here today because everyone wants to play today. I don't know what it is about today. I mean, it's a pretty day here, but it's crazy. All right. Here's the thing. When you become the vibrational frequency of passion, you ignite passion in all kinds of people who have the eyes to see it, who are ready to see it, who are ready to wake up to their own passion. And Pisces, in this way, you have sort of become some kind of leader. And I don't know if you're seeing it, I don't know if you're feeling it, but it's like a mama duck who's walking and then has all these ducklings walking behind her. Or I don't know why, but I'm seeing like a woman, like almost looking like a gypsy, walking through the woods with a tambourine, and like people coming out of the woods to walk behind her on this path. So it's giving me definitely like this leadership. When you're joyful, when you're in the light, when you're allowing yourself to really follow what you desire and what you're passionate about, and you're committed to it, it shows up in your energy, and people respond to it. People will then, they will sometimes see where they are lacking passion in their life, where they are not opening up or choosing the passion in their life, because you're this huge magnetic reflection of what life looks like when you do follow your passion. There's a joy, there's a vibrancy, there's a vitality. Even if things are not going your way, if you're doing it in the name of passion and what you really desire, it can't keep you down. You know, I told you guys we were watching Yellowstone, and then we started watching 1883, which is like when the pioneers were going out to Montana. The first of the generations was going out there. And what they had to endure was just so intense. I mean, you sometimes forget about it. You know, about how hard it was to actually traverse this country and, you know, start a different life. But they were all following some passion. They all had a desire to get to the West, you know. And even though they were facing all these hardships that were really, you know, demoralizing and difficult and, you know, confronting and scary, they kept charging forward. Every time they could have stopped and turned around and gone back, and they didn't. They kept pursuing their passion. And, you know, there were horrible losses suffered along the way, you know, of material possessions, of people, of whatever, you know, things that like in a normal daily life would be devastating, and we would just turn and focus on that and maybe even lose our spark because of it. But here in this situation, because they were so dedicated to pursuing their passion, it was a small sacrifice on the journey. I mean, I'm not going to say that the loss of life was, because they were definitely deeply affected by that. But, material possessions, stuff like that, they willingly just left them in the field, to cross rivers and stuff. So when you're in that energy, and people see that, and people see the resilience, and people see all of that, it sort of wakes them up from their normal daily life, right? Where they're not pursuing their passion, where maybe they're just going with the status quo. I feel like you have people thinking around you about their own passions, and about what they're doing with their life, and if it's enough, and if it's, in alignment with what they truly desire. And it may even be something that these people don't normally think about, or haven't really thought about. And there's almost this energy of kind of like admiration around you, where people are, well, when you wake people up to their passion, and when those people start following their passion, they start to feel better. They start to feel alive. They start to feel calm. They start to feel invigorated and joyful and happy and resilient, and all of the things that they weren't feeling before. I don't know how to really say that, but and so then there's this energy of gratitude that's aimed at you, which is like, thank you for waking me up. Now, equally and oppositely, right, you're going to have those people that are completely threatened by it, and are like, oh, Pisces is a pipe dreamer, and, whatever, or, they're discounting even your dream, or they're discounting even the work that you're putting forward. But I don't see you giving a crap about what these people say. I really see you being in this energy of feeling really grateful for the opportunity you have to pursue your passion. I do think that someone is getting ready to reach out to you to possibly to even tell you that you've ignited their passion, and they may be aiming their passion at you. Let's see. You have message of love. I am thinking about you, my love, even though you think I am not. I miss you every day, at day and night. I am curious to know what you've been doing. How did your day go by without me? Sometimes I wonder, do you even think of me? I am feeling the urge to reach out to you, my love, and I will promise. And then you have thinking. I am thinking about you at this moment. Thoughts of you never leave my mind, no matter where I go. The song I am hearing reminds me of you. It makes me more vulnerable and think about you even more. Someone's becoming more and more drawn in to you. I don't know if this is someone that you're in separation from, or someone where something is just beginning, or you're not maybe even seeing this person on a daily basis, but it's like you're quickly becoming, or you have been for some time, always on their mind. Oh, I just got that song. You are always on my mind. Okay, I don't know. Is that Willie Nelson? You guys, it's funny. I pretty much listen to a lot of Fleetwood Mac and the Bee Gees, and like 70s music, and the songs that I channel they always, I'm always like, all right. All right, there's definitely, and there are people on your social media. I'm just going to say, and this is not one person, this is many people. There are people trying to crack the code that is this energy, this aura, this vibration that you're putting out, Pisces. It's crazy. But I feel like people are on your social media. I feel like there are past people who feel like they don't know what's going on in your life. I mean, I think even from your social media, you can feel the energy. You can see that something is shifting, something is changing. I don't know if you're happier in your pictures, or the content is changing, or You know, if you're kind of constantly posting, I don't want to say constantly because I don't feel like you're constantly posting. I mean, some of you might be, but it's kind of like it's real, it's different, it might be different than what other people are posting, and it's, you know, the energy of it. It's just like, wow, you really know who you are. You're really living in your authenticity. You're really living in your truth. And that's what that looks like on social media. It's I feel like, I don't know what, this almost feels like a collective consciousness shifting in that direction where people are not so enthralled with highly edited pictures or something. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. This is the first time I'm really getting this so strongly. But I literally get, I mean, I get there are envious people who want to know your secret, or who may in some ways be trying to emulate you or copy you, or maybe even sit there and pass judgment on you in order to make themselves feel better. I just got the evil eye. Guys, I'm telling you, this is coming out a lot in your readings. Energetically protect yourself and spiritually have good hygiene. Salt baths, you can put salt under your bed, a bowl of salt under your bed, selenite, tourmaline, onyx, asking Archangel Michael to protect you. Feel free to write in your comments your favorite way to energetically protect yourself and your favorite way of having spiritual hygiene. I personally am a huge fan of crystals and salt baths, but we even have a salt cave where I live, and you can just go in there and, you know, it helps your lungs, it helps everything. So anyway, I don't know, but it seems like all your readings circle back around to this energy at some point, where this is like, protect your energy, because there are haters out there. Whenever you're doing something, you know, high vibrational, there are going to be haters out there. There's also one, if not more, people who are looking at your social media page and are definitely fantasizing about you. Some more physically than others, if you know what I mean. I can definitely feel that energy. And they want to come together with you. I mean, they are daydreaming, they are fantasizing. Someone out there definitely also feels like you're part of their destiny, or that meeting you was part of their destiny, and they want to fully come together with you. It's like, I'm getting this, I once was lost, but now I'm found energy. And is that like amazing grace? This could even be, for some of you, someone you met through church or some kind of spiritual connection here. But I mean, like, this person, okay, this is super specific. I feel like I'm actually like tapping into a super specific person's energy, but it's like they're looking at their pictures and they're thinking how much more sense life makes now that you're in it, and that they can't believe they met you. Like, there's just this energy of destiny, of like, it took all of these strange things in order for this person in your path to ever cross. Like, it's almost as if there is no real reason, or there was never any guarantee that your path would cross in life, but there was just some strange momentary twist of fate that brought you into their life. And there is this gratitude. And I don't think that you have, for a lot of you, I feel like you have not physically come together with this person, if you know what I mean. But it's like, that is something, it's like they're looking at it differently than they've ever looked at it before even. It's kind of like an energetic coming together, like a, this is not like just for fun. This is like with deep spiritual meaning and implications. And it's like they want to tap into your energy, not like an energy vampire, but it feels like kind of in a sense of gratitude. There's definitely gratitude involved in it. There's more than that. There's definitely physical attraction and all of that, but there is just this sense of, you know, being led and to someplace so much better and richer and beautiful, more beautiful than where you were. Like, I'm just getting the sweetness of life, the smell of roses, the sight of flowers. It's kind of like, almost like this person, everything looks different. Everything has a different set of importance to this person now than it used to. And it's like, I keep getting, because it's real. Because it's real. So I don't know, but it may even be that this person has only ever experienced forms of attachment with people in the past. They've never had this deep sense of gratitude and longing and wanting and yeah, that they have experienced with you. So I don't know. It's possible that you haven't even met this person yet, or that this person is following you and you don't know it, or you don't realize all of this is happening. I'm not quite sure. I'm just gonna do this for the sake of YouTube. Okay. All right, here we go. For Pisces, please, Spirit, for Pisces. There's someone here that feels like you saved their life. I'm getting that song. They played it on Grey's Anatomy. It was on the Grey's Anatomy soundtrack. That's what I associate it with. It's called How to Save a Life or something like that. Yes. Oh my God. Listen to this. I'm literally saying this, and the freaking Ten of Swords and the Star card come out with the Wheel of freaking Fortune. You see, this person feels this sense of destiny with you. They feel like someone who, they oh my God, it's like wow. Oh my God, I'm getting so many messages here, you guys. Like, whoa, it's almost exploding my head. The thing is, like, for some of you, this is someone who really was betrayed a lot by people, or was in a very difficult social surrounding. Like, they had people just stabbing them in the back left and right. It's like they didn't even know where it was coming from. It was like these anonymous rumors or something. I don't know, but I mean, it feels like this is no real way to live. I don't know, for some, it's almost giving me like fraternity, sorority kind of a vibe. And I mean, I was in a sorority, my daughter was in a sorority. I don't have anything against sororities, but the environment can be quite cutthroat. And I know it can be in a fraternity too. It's sort of like, people sort of sometimes kind of, it's the group think mentality, and it's like, kind of misery loves company, right? You're only as strong as your weakest link. And so, if you've got somebody that likes to drink too much, then they're going to encourage everyone else to drink more than them so that they don't look so bad, or so they're not the story every Monday morning. It's just sort of, it's like, a lot of backfighting, a lot of infighting, a lot of, I'm your friend, but I really don't want what's best for you, so I advise you in a way that leads you away from what's best to you instead of towards what's best for you kind of energy. This could also be like family, and it can also be a job that's just killing somebody, that's just, it kind of has them in the mouse wheel, or whatever that is, the hamster wheel or something like that, where it's like they are just running for their life to just stay in the middle of the pack, like not even to get promoted, not even to, it's like, I just need this paycheck, so I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm not passionate about it. I don't like it. I don't love it, but I can't get off this track because I can't stop drawing this paycheck. It's all of those kinds of feelings. And it's kind of like they've been so focused on dealing with all of these swords as they come for their back that they haven't really been able to look for inspiration or aspiration or a different direction or a different way of doing it or a different thing. And it's like, then you came into their life as the Star card. And, with the Star and the Wheel of Fortune, there's a heavy emphasis on destiny here and fate. And that's how this person feels. It's like, it's almost like you were sent to save them. That's how they feel. It's this energy of gratitude, you guys. where it's just like, it's almost like you appear like a mirage, you know what I mean, at first. And like, they don't really know, but when you're in the desert and you're starving for water and you're dehydrated, and oh, that just makes me think of Cory Booker. But anyway, when you're starving for water and you see that mirage, I mean, this is like happened to me. And you're driving down the highway and you're like, water, you know, it looks so good. But as you drive closer to it, you know, it kind of disappears. And you realize, well, it was just a mirage, right? But it's like, as this person gets closer to it, they keep expecting it to disappear like everything else, only to find that it, like, as they get closer, it's even better. It's more real than anything else in the world, or anything else than they've ever seen. And they're just, it's kind of an awestruck kind of feeling, honestly. So remember, these readings are general, and I tend to pick up on extreme energy, right? Where it's like all the way over. So this can be any energy of the spectrum, right? It doesn't have to be all the way over. But I do definitely feel like for some of you, it is that extreme. With the Ten of Swords and the Star card, it is that extreme. You know what I mean? And with the Wheel of Fortune here, that's almost exacerbating both energies. You know, the Ten of Swords is not a sustainable energy, right? It's too difficult, it's too hard, it's too draining. It will eventually be your demise. And so, you know, a change had to happen. We had to complete this cycle. Maybe we learned everything we needed to learn from it, and we were ready. We were ready for the Star card to come into our life because we had been through that cycle. It's not that different from this energy here, from these oracle cards that we were talking about earlier, where it's like, as you were going through it, living it forward, it felt like everything was happening to you. You know, it felt like, you know, these things were going against you. And now that you have come to this place, you know, the Star card is healing, and it's a return of hope and optimism. And it is where we shift our perspective and realize that everything happens for a reason, and that all of those things had to happen for us to be exactly where we are right now. And where we are right now is beautiful, you know, with the Star card energy. That's a beautiful, beautiful energy to be in. You know, it's healing, it's hope, it's optimism. It's a deep trust and commitment and faith to the universe. It is an energy of surrender, where it's like we don't feel like we have to control it. We feel like the purpose is what the purpose is, and that life brings us what we need to be, to have, to know, to learn, to grow. And so, you know, you're at peace. And with the wheel here, this person is coming into your life, and you're coming into this person's life for a very big reason. This is the plan. This is how it was meant to be. Ten of Swords for Pisces, please, Spirit. Wow. Star card for Pisces, please, Spirit. Wow. You got the Ace of Pentacles clarifying the Ten of Swords. Whoa. Holy moly. Oh my goodness. Okay. You've got the Star card clarified by the Wheel of Fortune, the Hierophant, the World card, the Page of Wands, and the Queen of Cups. And then we have the Three of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. So this is, you're coming together with someone whom you are going to build something very strong with, or whom you definitely have the potential. I feel like this person is closing out a really difficult cycle here. It is time. It is the moment when it is intended for them to close out this cycle, so that they can come into a deeply spiritual union with you. This person is getting a solid and stable opportunity in their life given to them by spirit in the form of you. All they have to do is choose you over this karmic 10 of Swords situation that they have been in. And then all the wheels of fate will turn. And, there's almost a feeling of, with the Wheel of Fortune, you know how I said you're like pulling something towards you or you're pulling something in? It's as if you are pulling something in at the same time the universe is kind of moving something towards you. And like you are in this magnetic energy just as someone is kind of ready for the universe to push in a new direction. I get this sense of like kind of falling into your lap sort of an energy. It's interesting. I mean, it sort of feels literal, but I'm sure it's a metaphor. But you have this Wheel of Fortune, Hierophant, World energy. These are all major arcanas, and these are really, really strong major arcanas, just highlighting again the spiritual nature of this connection and the fated nature of this connection. This is, with the World card and the Page of Wands and the Queen of Cups, this is this moment where this person, if they are ready to make a healthy choice about their future, if they are ready for, I just got, if they understand the assignment. So take that as it resonates. But if they understand the assignment, they're going to choose you, Pisces. And, I don't know, maybe other people have had the opportunity to understand the assignment and choose you in the past, and they haven't. And they may have fallen back off into an energy of the Ten of Swords again, or another karmic cycle leading back up to the Ten of Swords. But I actually feel like this is the time, this is the moment, this is the one that will be ready to choose you. And it's interesting because I feel an elevation of connection with each one of these people that didn't understand the assignment. It's like the first one that didn't understand the assignment, yeah, they were a soulmate, but they were the level of connection that you had with them, let's just do it on a numeric scale, was like a 3. And then the next one that came in that didn't understand the assignment, maybe the connection was like a 5. And then the next one that came in that didn't understand the connection or the assignment, the connection was like a 7. And that one you thought, my God, it can't get any stronger or deeper than this. Because, on a scale of 1 to 10, a 7 is actually pretty high. That's pretty strong. And it's the strongest thing that you had experienced until this point. This one, it may not look like it. It may not feel like it. You may not be like, oh my gosh, immediate soul recognition. Because there's something about this that's so intense that it's almost unrecognizable. That it's like, if you did recognize it, if you did feel it, honestly, it could mess everything up. And so there's just this energy of, this one is so high, so powerful. I don't know if it's an 8, 9, or 10, but it's definitely higher than a 7. If that was the highest one. And that was just an example. So, I don't know. I can't say for sure, right? But it feels like, it's as if the prize or the reward that you're getting for staying true to your Queen of Cups self here, Pisces, is a higher and a higher and a higher and higher level of. And, with this 3 of Pentacles and the Page of Wands, it feels like this person is choosing you. And it feels like you are sharing a vision, sharing a plan, and both of you are collaborating to build it. This person isn't where you are. They're a page, you're a queen. I think this person feels like they can't believe they're lucky stars, that first of all, something that is profound wish fulfillment and that is so loving and so nurturing and so real and so intuitive and so empathetic could fall into their lap, you know, could be part of their destiny or their fate. I think they're thinking, I don't know what I did to deserve this, because I've been stuck in this freaking karmic cycle, and it's like, you know, dying in the desert, and all of a sudden I wake up next to a stream of clean drinking water, you know, and it's not a mirage, it's real. I don't know how this happened, but that's how I get this person is feeling. And it feels like there will be rapid growth for this person from a page to a king in this trying to deserve you, trying to earn this kind of energy. For Pisces, it's your time. It is your time. I'm getting that. It's your time, Pisces. Wow, yeah, see, there's the king already. Okay. So this person is looking at all the obstacles. This person is realizing that you are their wish fulfillment, but they are consciously aware that there are obstacles. This is someone who's planning and strategizing. This person, I feel like this is different than any other situation you've ever been in. I feel like in the past, people have seen you and they've just come for you. This person is not. This person is kind of hanging back, observing, trying to get a lay of the land. It's like, I think they also recognize that they're in a page kind of energy. They're not in a king kind of energy, and this is a king kind of situation. So they definitely have strong desire here. Look at all these wands. They could be a fire sign. They could be a water sign. They could be an earth sign. But there's just this energy of, you know, needing to look at all the things that could go wrong so that there is some kind of level of feeling prepared for it, or so they don't get out of hand or out of control. And I think one of the things is whatever environment this person is in, they need to distance themselves from it first. They now know what they want. They now are seeing it. They're now looking at it, and they're strategizing and planning, like I said. And I think the first thing that they need to do is extract themselves or distance themselves from either a friend group or a job or a family or something that is chaotic and dramatic and could really create some kind of drama here in this situation. This person needs to separate themselves. And it's interesting because I do sort of get this is someone who may not necessarily normally be by themselves, who it's like they're realizing they're going to have to stand on their own or learn who they are, or, you know, kind of figure out their truth or their authenticity, or get brave about it. In order to be able to go after what they really want. They know what they want. They're seeing what they want. They know what their wish fulfillment is. But it's like they're not naive. They're like, okay, I've got to figure this out. Yes, this person, yes, see, they're starting to spend time alone. Oh, wow, yeah, okay. So we go from a page to a knight, right? Look at the arc here. We have the Page of Wands showing up here, and then we have the Knight of Wands showing up here, and the King of Wands showing up here. This is the arc from the page to the king, like I said. I mean, it's crazy how these cards are coming out. For me it is. And then I'm saying this person needs to be by themselves, and like, hello, the Hermit comes out with the Devil. Yeah, this person is reaching for something that they feel like is out of their league, you know, or is kind of out of their depth here. And they have to break free from the things that would hold them back or would prevent them from being able to get there. And it does feel at times like for this person, it's a little out of reach. There's something that keeps pulling them back, or something that's trying to keep them stuck. It could be their own fear and illusion, but it can also be just like lower vibrational tendencies, or even people. that are obsessed with this person, or I don't want to say necessarily obsessed, but they don't want this person to get away. They don't want this person to change their circumstances. But you can see here with the Nine of Cups, the Two of Wands, this is someone who, now that they know what their wish fulfillment is, they're starting to envision the world differently. They're starting to make different choices. They're leaving these past choices behind, and they're starting to make new choices that, you know, are really heavily focused on the kind of life that they want to live with this wish fulfillment, instead of the life that they felt chained to in the hamster wheel with the 10 swords in their back. You know what I'm saying? And there's something here about this masculine. I think it's a masculine, but it doesn't have to be. But this person, you know, figuring out how to break free of their circumstances or this energy to be by themselves, to focus on what they really want. And it's like they know that they have to do this alone. It's almost like they know that if they even told this group or this, whatever this is, they would only really make it impossible for them to do it. And so they can't even tell anyone. It's like they're just sort of in, this is their own personal journey, their own personal story and situation that they're playing very close to their vest and keeping very private with the Hermit. With the Knight of Wands, they're doing all of this so that they can come forward, go after what they want, you know, instead of being the Page, that they can actually take some action here. I'm going to take one on the Devil. Although I feel like that message is so clear. Wow. Yeah, there's a cycle that hasn't maybe completely ended for this person that they know has to end in order for them to be able to move on to embrace their happiness. And this, there is an energy here with Death and the Sun of rebirth, you know, of, you know, having clarity on what is going to make this person happy, and on what kind of has to close out or has to end in order for them to have this. And with the naked child on the horse, it's like symbolic of our vulnerable inner child, and like letting ourselves be free, right? And free to pursue, you know, as a kid, kids operate on, I want that, I want that, I want that, you know, I put them on a playground and it's like, I want to try the slide, I want to try the swing, I want to climb the monkey bars, I want to, you know, go to the top of the fort, you know, it's like, I want to try all these things, I want to do all of these things. And I feel like there is something with this person that prevents them, or has prevented them from kind of being in that energy for a long time. And they're starting to feel the sun on their face. They're starting to see that, like, wow, that's not what life has to be. You know, I convinced myself that that's what life had to be, but that's not true. Now I'm seeing something clearly. Now I'm seeing that there's a different kind of happiness out there for me, and it's making me feel like a kid again. It's putting me back in touch with this it's putting me back in touch with my passion, really, for life, for love, my zest for life, you know? And so I've got to free myself from this. I have to actually go for it. There's also, with that Death card being in reverse, you know, when cards are in reverse, a lot of times for me, wow, it's something that's happening internal to the person. It's not really happening from the outside, it's happening from the inside. And with the Death card there, it feels very much like this is an internal transformation that this person is going through. It's like they can't, no one else would understand. Wow. Yeah, this person is working through some things on the inside. There is something here where I don't know, you know, this can even be from their environment where they have a little bit of a mentality of, you know, there are winners and losers and it's important to always be the winner kind of energy. And they know this isn't the energy they need to be in. They know this isn't the way that they should be thinking when they approach you or when they approach this opportunity. With the Five of Cups, it's coming from their past or whatever, possibly even this past experience with this group that is dramatic and chaotic or keeping them in the hamster wheel or whatever. It's like it's deeply entrenched in them from their history. And this could even be their last experience in love that really they had so many regrets about. This person may have really done this person in, and that may have actually been what started this change. Was this sense of defeat, this sense of having lost with the Five of Cups and the Five of Swords. But underneath that is the Eight of Wands. This person is processing this. They are allowing this change to kind of take hold and kind of work its way through them so that they can move forward. And it also feels like the past becomes less and less relevant when Cupid's arrow strikes again and you are confronted with a new soulmate or someone who you don't have this difficult history with, but you feel a strong pull toward, you know? So I feel like it's almost, this is kind of just the end of a cycle for this person. And this was maybe even the beginning of the catalyst for change for this person, but it's like they're moving through it. They're finally putting it to bed. They're finally putting it behind them. And it's interesting because with the Wheel and the Death card here and the Seven of Cups, what this person is fantasizing about is changing. It's changing as the inside of them transforms. They may have been someone that was focused on a past love or a past situation, or you know, couldn't really see what was in front of them because they were so wrapped up in fantasy. And now they are I just got what they're fantasizing about has changed. It's interesting. This person could have been really consumed also with just winning. They could have been consumed with making money. They could have been consumed with like getting somewhere in life or achieving something or finding the perfect spouse for, you know, the Christmas card picture rather than day-to-day nitty-gritty ups and downs, you know, wins and losses, births and deaths, you know, big things, right? They may have been really focused on the superficial even, or how things were perceived or how they looked, where now they're looking at things deeper. They're seeing things much more clearly. They're seeing the importance of depth even in situations here. And yeah, I mean, this is wild. I feel like, you know, I think they were fantasizing about the way things looked or having a life that looked really good from the outside. And now I feel like what they want has changed. And it's interesting because I'm getting it actually looks good from the outside. Like, I don't even want to say it. Because it's real, because it's authentic, because this person is now pursuing their passion and going after what they really desire. Nothing looks better than that. You know, that's energetic. And you know, they may even be seeing that by looking at your social media and picturing themselves in those pictures and going, yeah, wow, that would be really different for me. That would be a different message for me for sure. But like, also, I could really get behind that. Like, I could really, like, that would be beautiful. I would love to be there with that person in those moments, you know? It's time for this person's life to change. Yeah, it's time for them to rise above. And they're making this decision. And as they're making this decision, it's almost like, as they're making this decision, it's almost like things are sort of falling apart anyway, it feels like. Or, as this person changes, it may make the people around them or the situations around them that are kind of karmic to sort of try to hold on tighter, which causes this person to go to an extreme to break free. It's like if you're trying to pull me in this direction and I'm trying to go in the other direction and you're pulling harder and harder, then I also have to pull harder and harder until I break free. And so it's kind of really destabilizing, right? To be in this energy of extremes, and especially with this like drama and this chaos and sort of feeling like you have to fight against something. But we do have the Tower versus the Five of Wands. One is a major arcana, one is a minor arcana. The Tower is going to win every time, and so there's just this energy of, fuck, if everything has to fall apart, then let it fall apart. So this person may be going through sort of a dark night of the soul or an ego death here. We've seen the death card twice. One of them was in reverse, which can definitely be an ego death. And then we have the Tower card. We have the Three of Swords coming out with the Seven of Cups. And, this is just, it's giving me this energy of grief, really. Even if we're ready to let something go, or even if we see the value of even if we see the value of and the need, the necessity I'm getting to release a certain thing in our life, we still at one time had a dream about it. We still at one time saw it in a certain way where it held the hope and the dream and the this and the that of our future. And there is always going to be some suffering involved in transition. In order for the caterpillar to become the butterfly, it has to first turn to complete goo inside a dark cocoon. I'm sure that must be a painful process. But with the Seven of Cups and the Three of Swords, this changing fantasy, and it's like once I see it, once I feel it, once I know it, I can't unsee it, unknow it. It's like that has become my dream. And so because that is now my dream, this is no longer my dream. Because my focus is on this fantasy now, this isn't anymore. And so it can't hold the same place in my life that it did when it was my fantasy, when it was my dream. But that doesn't mean that letting go of it, that doesn't mean that saying goodbye to it, it wasn't all bad, and it wasn't always bad, right? Even when people are leaving abusers, they still had good memories with that person at one point, and they still had a dream with that person at one point. And even though it's like they have to get out of that situation in order to survive, there is still that part of them that is grieving. There still is that part of them. Like, even I saw something on YouTube yesterday, that Giselle Pellicotte in France, whose husband just did unspeakable things to her. He's in prison, and the daughter was talking, and she was saying, yeah, my mom was still worried about him being cold in prison. It was like she took him clothes and things of comfort so that he wouldn't suffer so much. So no matter how much we suffer, we still, because of at the hands of something, right? We still grieve it, and the grief is still important, and still part of the process, right? We can't judge it, but with the Magician here, it is necessary. This is a necessary thing for all of this to fall apart. so that this masculine or whomever this is can empower themselves with the magician energy, can step into their like sovereign being, making decisions for themselves, deciding for themselves, and also so that they can begin to realize their own power, that they always had all the tools. They didn't need this Five of Wands energy, whatever it was. They didn't need it in order to advance themselves or to have what they really wanted in life. They had it all along with all these tools. And now, instead of looking to this situation to fulfill them, they're looking to themselves and their own energy and coming into their own and realizing like, wow, you know, I can do this. I am stronger. I am powerful. And that's where we see the arc from the Page of Wands to the King of Wands, of just someone empowering themselves to really go after what it is they really want once they've discovered it, once they know what that is. All right, let me just do one more round here. Wow. You have the Two of Cups with the Chariot, and you have the Nine of Pentacles. You have the Ten of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, this person is also worried because while they're over here closing out this burdensome cycle, you know, you're over here looking like a snack, you know. I don't know if snack is the right, you know, term. I don't know. I hang out, you're looking great. And you are attractive and you are in this really high vibrational energy, and this person knows that there's limited time, that you're a soulmate, and that they need to get their shit together and be able to balance out with you, be able to own their part of this duo. You know, they need to be able to level up into something that is a match for you. Right now, how can they do this? Because look at them. You know what I mean? Yeah, wow, Jesus, look at that. Oh my God, and look at that. They've got to master themselves so that they can be in this king energy instead of in this energy where life is so difficult and so hard and they're so overburdened. But they're feeling the pressure. They're feeling that they're running out of time. They're feeling like they need to step into this energy very quickly. They need to make all the right decisions. They need to close out this cycle. They're working hard. They are working hard. But for some of you, you know, if they're not immediately coming forward, or it's not immediately working out, or if it seems like it's just sort of trickling in, it's because this person is going through an awful lot in order to be able to step into this energy. Wow. They're going to choose you, Pisces. This is the one. This is the one. This is the one. All of those people, yeah, they're going to choose you. You got the Eight of Swords here where, you know, I feel like this person has been really they've been giving their power away to things that prevented them from being able to grow, things that kept their life kind of stagnant, and in a way it kept them safe. But you know, this person doesn't really look like they're particularly enjoying their situation, right? They look kind of cold to me, actually, like actually physically cold, and they can't really do much to help themselves, right? And this particular Two of Pentacles is sort of, it's like the picture of courage, right? You know, the Two of Pentacles is always my card of the choice between love and fear. And, you know, here he's on this tightrope and he's holding both of these pentacles, but he's very focused on where he's going. And it's like, there may even be an easier way out, or something. It almost feels like this is in his mind, like once I get through this decision or this choice, it'll be smooth sailing kind of energy. But there's something here where it's kind of like, what is courage? Well, it's being afraid but doing it anyway. And that's what this person is doing. It's like, this isn't easy. It's not, it's requiring me to really focus and really stay balanced and really do something that normally I might not choose to do. Fear might have won me over, but this is worth it. And I'm doing it. Because why? They're choosing you, Pisces. You got Justice with the Nine of Pentacles. They're choosing you. This is the one. This is the one that steps up and chooses you. This is the soul contract. Look at that shiny sword. And how else do I know? Because the King of Swords is underneath that Two of Pentacles. This is someone who does the right thing, who steps up, who makes the decision that's in alignment with what they know to be true. Oh, Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. All right, let's get some messages here and wrap this reading up. There's a lot of energy going on here, Pisces, and I think you just have to stay the course and stay focused on you and keep your vibration high. I think that's really all you need to do. It feels like you may have already gone through some of these changes and some of these shifts and some of these difficulties, you on your own, and now it's other people's turns to do it around you in order to be able to rise up to meet you, to meet your occasion. If you're dealing with a water sign, I am overcoming my fears. Cold. Wow. On top of that Eight of Swords. I won't let you go. And triggered. Hopeful on the bottom of the deck. This person is, they're closing out a cycle. I feel like it's asking a lot of them, but they're doing it. Okay. If you're dealing with a fire sign, anxious. I am overthinking everything. Regret, and I thought about reaching out, but I don't know what to say. If you're dealing with an earth sign, repressing, annoyed, excited. Your words speak to me like no others can. Interesting, all those one-word answers. It feels like that person is in very primal energy. Like they can't really formulate a thought. They're just feeling a lot of things. If you're dealing with an air sign, you're getting guilt. I just need some more time. You give me so much to look forward to. You will always be my secret love. And I had no idea you would end up meaning so much to me. Man, Pisces, someone's breaking out of a karmic cycle. They're putting it to bed. They're setting down the burdens, and they are coming for you. Just keep staying in the energy of passion, and yeah, people are coming. Get your evil eyes, get your protection, because there are jealous people out there too. Until next time, Pisces, I send you off with all my very best. Always, 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 I will say a prayer of protection for each and every one of you right when I get off of here, all right? Until next time, all my best. Always, always. Bye-bye.